Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday live stream. And tonight we're going to be doing the portfolio reviews. So we're on Thursday live stream episode 30, and this is going to be a portfolio review stream. Before I go any further, I'm just going to play a video about the membership, and I'll be right back. So, you want to join my membership?
Gotcha. Sign up.
By joining, you won't only unlock members-only content, you'll also be supporting my channel and the growth of the community. Are you ready to do your part?
I'm doing my part.
For as little as a price of coffee a month,
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
you'll be able to access all past live streams and get exclusive members-only content.
Yeah, boy.
That's less than 49p a video.
Shut up and take my money.
So if you're ready, join now and become part of this 3D journey.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
All right, so you saw there, you can become a member of the YouTube channel and you can get all the archive live streams from the dragon tutorial that we created at the very beginning of these live streams. And we're working on the anatomy version, the male anatomy or human anatomy now as well. You'll be able to access all those past live streams if you become a member, as well as long form videos that are, what do you call it? They're the long form videos in real time with music in the background from my past projects. So those are every other week. You'll get one of those. And yeah, so, oh, I've got a comment, 1 second. Oh, just saying hello. Hello. Yeah, so if you want to, you can also become a Patreon member and you can work on the ZBrush tutorial on how to sculpt the Velociraptor. They are getting one video a week on how to sculpt a Velociraptor from the beginning to end, based around beginners like a beginner tutorial, kind of like the dragon tutorial that we did in the live stream. So it's very easy to follow along to, and you'll also get all the project files. If you become tier 3 member, you'll get all the project files for that. Okay, right. Oh, one last thing. I have got a 30% off coupon code Creative30 for my Gumroad online store. That's the last week of this sale going on. I should have mentioned it more often this month, but it's 30% off Creative30 at Gumroad, and you'll be able to find the links in the description box below for that. Okay, so well, it looks like we only got a few people in the audience tonight, but what we'll plan to do is to do a portfolio review live stream. So if you have got a portfolio you want me to have a look at, then I will, and you're absolutely fine for me to show it online on the live stream, then I'll add that to the live stream tonight and I'll go through it and you can ask me questions of how you want your portfolio to look, or do you think it looks all right? Anything you want to know, and I'll try and help you out as best I can. In the meantime, I have got a sculpt that I've been working on for these live streams in the meantime, so we're just going to carry on sculpting the creature that we had from before, and I'll just do that in the background until I get someone's portfolio come through. If you want, you can go to my Discord and leave your portfolio in there, or if you can't get into the portfolio or the Discord, sorry, then you can just leave a link to your portfolio in the chat. Make sure it's the ArtStation link. Not the ArtStation website, but the ArtStation portfolio. This makes it easier, as well as it's probably the best place you can put your portfolio for people to find or for companies to find. So make sure it's an ArtStation portfolio. Okay, enough talking. Let's get some music on in the background, and I'm going to open up a new layout. There we are. So you can see it's a portfolio live stream. We've got the new layout as well, which is great. So I'm just going to add the comments in there as well. So the comments will pop up on the bottom right hand corner so people can read through them as well. And I can see it as well. But essentially, what I'm actually, let's just get the banner up as well. 1 second. I'm totally out of my depth. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see from the ticker tape on the bottom, just go to my Discord channel and plop your portfolio in there, and I'll have a look at it. I'm hoping the description box in the description box Discord works. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll add it in the comment section for you to get to. And if you have any questions you want to ask me as well, you can just pop that in the chat, and I'll do my best to try to answer it. So this, let me just move this around a bit. This creature was originally going to be a variant of the Predator, but I think I'm going to change it. Actually, I don't really feel like it will be good to be a Predator. I don't really want to copy any sort of IP that's out there, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just get rid of the dreadlocks. So I turn those off for now. I won't delete them, I'll just turn them off. And I'm just going to come in here and start sculpting something different to what we originally had. So I'm just going to fill in those holes real quick. I think this could be quite a cool creature to have as a sort of underwater creature, so maybe I will do that instead. So yes, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to pull out the back of his neck there a little bit. It's been quite a while since I worked on this one, so it might look a bit, it might take me a bit of time to figure out what I want to do. I might just move these arms out. It's actually quite a good idea to step away from your artwork for a while, a good long while, and then come back to it, because then you can see the sort of mistakes or changes that you need to have in order to make it make sense. And you can see the imperfections that you had. This is all split up into multiple subtools as well, so it's just it just makes it a lot easier to manipulate at this stage. So if anyone's been following along with the anatomy tutorials in the live streams, you'll know that we need to pinch these pectorals underneath the deltoids in order to make it make sense. Yeah. Now, the one thing that is great about learning anatomy, human anatomy, is that once you've learned human anatomy, you can then go ahead and incorporate that onto your creature design. And the best thing about that is that you get to make up, as long as you have the fundamentals of anatomy, human anatomy, and your creature is kind of a human anatomy, it has some sort of human anatomy, it actually is easy to just manipulate it a little bit to make it look alien. But keeping that fundamental there is very important. So if you were doing this as a human, you wouldn't have such a big triangle here. If you followed along from the Monday's tutorials, you'll know that there is a small hole in this area around here on the where the pectoral muscle meets the deltoid. But if we're doing an alien, we can actually make this a little bigger, still have it there, but just make it a little bigger, and maybe add a new tendon in there just to fill it up. But that little bit of a difference in design will make it look less human, but still, like I said, have the fundamentals of human anatomy in there. So it's a good idea to learn your anatomy as much as possible. How's everybody doing, by the way? Is everybody having a good week? I finally got around to watching the I think I might have mentioned this before, but I finally got around to watching the Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm not really 100% sure I like that film, to be fair. I do actually know the artist who created most of the dinosaurs, and he's a good friend of mine from back in the day. We worked in MPC, together. That's Motion Picture Company, I think it's called. It's gone under. It's no longer there in London, but kind of worked together, and we sort of hang out with a bunch of other people together in the past after work. He's a really cool guy. His artwork is very, very unique. He's got a very specific art style. I know this because I follow his work very closely, and just looking at one of those dinosaurs, that new raptor dinosaur with the wings in an Alien Jurassic Park Rebirth, I just immediately thought, yep, that must be one of his designs, because he has a very specific way of creating dinosaurs that he has in his portfolio, and it just sort of oozed out onto the screen when I saw it, and I thought that's pretty cool. You know, he got a chance to work on the new dinosaur mutations, I think it is, from Jurassic World. So, but I think I'm not a massive fan of that Jurassic World, to be fair. I thought it was going to be better. As I mentioned before, what was it? Last Thursday, I read the book whilst I was on holiday because I'm boring. But actually, I read the book because I was trying to keep away from technology as much as possible. And so I read the actual novel of Jurassic Park, and I've noticed in the book, or from the book, that they used the book a lot in every film, not just one film, but every film. Like every film has a little bit of the what do you call it, the novel in it. So I found that very interesting. I think I like the book more, to be fair. It was more of a horror film than it was a horror genre than the films were, and that's probably why I like it a bit more than the films. But I still like Jurassic Park 1, to be fair. JD Hady says hi. Hello. Sefa Farazadi says hello. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I'm not good with names. Yeah, so like I said, the Jurassic World film, Jurassic World Rebirth, gotta get it correct, wasn't really great. Story-wise, creature-wise though, was really nice, but story-wise, I think it lacked heavily. It just didn't make, well, it made sense, but there wasn't enough dinosaurs, you know? It was just mostly humans trekking through jungle, and oh, sorry, spoiler alert, by the way. It was just mostly dinosaurs trekking through fucking jungle, and it was just kind of, no, sorry, humans trekking through jungle, and it was just kind of boring, to be fair. And there was a huge scene at the beginning when they were going towards the dinosaur island. By the way, I should put a spoiler button up here, but I'm definitely going to spoil this film. I don't care. It's been out for long enough. So basically, they spent a lot of time on this boat, and there was a huge, like, at least 50, I would say about 10 minutes of them talking, a talking scene where it was just them talking about their past, which you didn't really care about the humans' past because you didn't really care about the characters, you know? It's not like they were built up to be amazing characters in the film, and I was just like, this is kind of boring. Can we just get to the dinosaurs now, or can we just get to the island? And then all of a sudden there was a family that was stranded at sea. I don't know why they were there, be fair. And I think they only put them in there because they needed that sort of family friendly moment in the film. Otherwise it would just be, you know, army people on an island finding dinosaurs. And they did that whole Disney thing that Disney does in most of their films now. They made a cutesy dinosaur that the little girl picks up and puts in a backpack, and, you know, what do you call it, takes it home as a pet. And I was just like, oh god, so overdone, that sort of thing. You know, you take something that's supposed to be a monster and you make it cute. It's just like you're pulling away from what it should really be, to be fair. By the way, I'm not just going to go on about Jurassic Park whilst I sculpt this thing. If you want, you can add your portfolio into the Discord link that's down below, and I'll take a look at it and we can run through on online. I do know that there's holidays at the moment, so a lot of people are probably on holiday with family or having a holiday, and that's totally fine. If it comes to that, then I'll just carry on for an hour sculpting and talking rubbish whilst you guys listen and maybe just follow along or have a look at what I'm doing. By the way, we're changing this design. If you weren't here already, we're changing this design from a predator creature to a sea creature, something like Aquaman type thing. You know, the deep, the trench creatures. We're going to try and make it like that, but not overly monsterfied, just a little bit. It's going to have elements of the trench creatures. I'll get it up. 1 second. Trench. I put the trench in ArtStation and it comes up with my crab at the very beginning. I found that funny. Trench. Yeah, let's have a look and see if we can find it. There it is. There's one. So it's going to have elements of this sort of going on, not as horror, not as much of horror in it, but some elements of it. So I like the fins on the back. I like the fins on the forearms. Again, this is going to be a bust creature, so a bust render of the creature. So you'll only see like this much. Even though we have hands, we're just going to see about that much of it. I might even cut the hands off and render it just like this. Oh, we got Thibot Roig saying in the portfolio section in Discord. Yes, please. In the portfolio section will be fine. It should be the art portfolios. I still need to fix my Discord. Again, I'm a one-man band right now. I'm trying to, do everything at the same time. So the Discord is going to be more streamlined later on. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to start to rip it up and take out things that I don't need, which aren't pertinent to what I'm trying to achieve on Discord. As well as I haven't really got much time on my hands to constantly be on Discord, but I'm hoping with the streamlining of it, that it's going to be a lot easier for me to go in there and talk to people a bit more and give opinions and stuff like that. It's actually a really cool channel at the moment. We got a lot of people putting up their work in progress pieces in the work in progress, and it's really cool to see their people's designs and stuff like that. There's also a guy who just put in animation in there, and his name is Keverino. Sorry, that's his handle. He's making a Link animation at the moment, like a cartoon Link animation. Let's just bring it over, maybe that'll be easier. So you can see here, he's got a sort of cartoonish design going for his Link, and you can see he's working on this completely solo, by the way, so I've got to give him credit for that. He's already made it animatic. He's also done the blocking, and he's just working on getting the final renders done. So that's really cool. And we got loads of other people's work in there as well. If Thibot Roy, if you put your portfolio in there and just let me know in the comment section when you've done that, I'll jump over to there and I'll start to look at it. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm just going to carry on with this. So next thing I want to do is add a cylinder. Now, typically, people would probably try to pull the fins out of the back, but I think it's better if you actually sculpt them separately, like these parts separately, because it just means you don't destroy your work, and it's easier to manipulate as well. Whoops. Oh god, draw size. There we are. Sometimes ZBrush gets stuck like that with the draw size, especially if you work too fast or you move around too fast. You can get a little bit confused about what's going on. If it ever does that, just come over to the draw size and wiggle the draw size a little bit, and it should fix the issue. Okay, so let's make this one there. Make that the longest one. How are we going to say this? Hard GG. I'm going to say that. Hello there, my name is Steph. Sorry, Steph. Love your work. Well, nice to meet you. Is that Steph as in a female or Steph as in a male? I'm guessing female because it's STEF, but let me know in the comments. Thank you. Always great to have more people joining this live stream. Like I mentioned just a minute ago, it is the summer holidays, so a lot of people will probably be away. And so they'll probably catch up with us later. But yeah, just going to push on through. So at the moment, if you've just joined, I'm just changing the design of this. Oh, it's male. Sorry. From Greece. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Stefanos. That's the one. Yeah, if you've just joined, I'm changing the design of this whilst I wait for people's portfolios in my Discord. If you can't get into the Discord, then add it to the chat and I will grab it from the chat, the link, and I'll grab it from the chat instead. There's some issues with the Discord. Every time I try to tell people to use it, it tells the people who are trying to use it it's not working or it's expired, but I've set it to not expire, so I don't know why it's acting the fool at the moment, or acting up. Okay. Of course, there wasn't the only dinosaur. I'm sorry if you just. Yeah, Thibot, yeah, you can post the link here and I'll take a look at it. Make sure it's the ArtStation link, portfolio link, not the website ArtStation, not personal website, but the ArtStation portfolio link. That would be great. Yeah, so if you just join in, I just went over a couple of my own thoughts about the new Jurassic World Rebirth film and how it was good. It was a lot better than the last one, Dominion, that's damn sure. But I still think it lacked some sort of heart to it. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else has seen it. If you have seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Probably get a little bit of a discussion going about it. But I honestly, the only good thing about it was the dinosaurs, but there was a dinosaur, the D-Rex, I think it's called. I don't know what the hell the actual name is, but it's called the D-Rex, and it wasn't great. Again, I think that was the one my friend worked on. It's got a lot of his tropes in it. In fact, let me try and find his portfolio, and I'll show you what I mean by his tropes. You probably know the person I'm talking about. He's very famous. Famous artist in the industry. Go through here. Anton Verne Cowan. That's his name. Right. If I just pull this over, I'll show you what I mean by very similar. So you can see here he worked on the D-Rex concept. So that's the final design that he created or helped work on. There's some explanation here on the right hand side. Also the T-Rex as well, he worked on that, which is really cool. I actually like the T-Rex more than I like the other two dinosaurs, to be fair. This one is very much his sort of realm, this type of design for this sort of mutated bird velociraptor creature sort of thing. I'll show you in a minute what I mean by his sort of style. But you can see here he's got loads of different designs that they went through before they got to what they wanted. I think some of this stuff is crazy cool. Like this one's got like a beak with a mouth in the inside. It's like that that shark, that deep sea shark with the, I think it's called a ghost shark. And basically what happens is it opens its mouth. It will open its mouth, but there will be a mouth inside that comes out and juts out, sort of like the if you ever watched Prometheus, the alien from Prometheus at the very end when it opens its mouth and it juts out a jaw on the inside. That's basically what I think it's a ghost shark does. And there's kind of sort of similar thing that's going on here, which is really cool. But I'll just show you what I mean by, if you just look at this, for example, this one here, just take a quick memory of what this looks like, right? And then also take a quick visual memory about what this looks like. And I'll show you what I mean by a trope that he has in his designs, which is not a bad thing. I think it all looks cool. You can kind of see similarities in a lot of his work. So in this one, the big fish, it's got a very similar looking sort of face with, you know, not a lot going on and very small beady eyes on it, which is cool. And if I come down a little further, he's also made this one, which is very much like the flying dinosaur mutation, right? The sort of head shape. Everything's got that sort of turtle-like shape to his design. Some of his designs. Where's another one? Yeah, got the see. He's got very much small eyes, big round bulbous heads to the creatures. This one's very reminiscent of the sort of style that you would have seen in that film. And I guess that's why they chose him, because he's got such a unique looking approach to creature design. I'm pretty sure if he could get away with it, he would have used this as a T-Rex in the film, you know, this sort of style. But I think they wanted to keep to the original style of the T-Rex, so he did keep to it. But there is some similarities in the T-Rex if we come back to it. There is some similarities, I believe, in the T-Rex that he created here. But this is a concept, so... but it's very much his sort of forte. 1 second. I'll show you the T-Rex he did. There he is. So you can see this is a sort of T-Rex that they would have used, or would have used in the film, basically. And yeah, he's a very talented artist. You know, very nice guy as well in real life. So cool. All right. Tobias says my link does not appear in the chat. Oh, for goodness sakes. Let me grab the link from Discord and I'll put it in the chat for you and see if that works. 1 second. Okay, this is gonna... If you copy that link that I'll put in the chat, you should be able to enter the Discord, and oh, there's a portfolio. Majuroth, is that you, Majuroth? Yeah, that is you. Okay, let me just check your portfolio real quick, and I'll just see what it looks like first, because we're on YouTube at the moment, and you know, we got to make sure that things are going to be okay to show online, on live. Although I don't actually make these live streams monetized, so that's why becoming a member actually helps me, because it sort of pays for the sort of streams. So if you haven't become a member yet, please have a think about it. It's only about £4.50 a month, so it's not too much. Looks like it's all good. No mass amounts of nudity or grotesqueness in it. So let's get this going. Okay, I'm gonna pull this over. Okay. So what we got here? We have, is it Thibault Rogue? Thibault Rogue. I'm going to call it Thibault Rogue, if that's okay. Oh, he's French. Okay. From France. What's that always disappear for? Hasn't got a bio. Have you got a bio? Yes, let's see about quick. Has not yet provided a summary. That's okay. You're a freelancer, digital sculpting, character modeling, 3D modeling, and 3D visualization. Software, you got 3ds Max, Marmoset Toolbag, ZBrush, Maya, Substance, Blender, ArtStation, Art After Effects. I mean, you got a good selection of softwares there, to be fair. So I'm really pleased with that. I think the main one you're going to probably need is Maya, Substance Painter, ZBrush, Marmoset Toolbag. After Effects, not so much, unless you're going into VFX and stuff like that for film, but not typically needed when becoming a character artist, unless you want to do some VFX stuff on the side or graphic design stuff on the side. That's really good for After Effects. After Effects is really good for that. Sorry. So I wouldn't worry about After Effects if it's not something you want to venture into. 3ds Max is, in my opinion, 3ds Max is pretty much dead. Well, I say dead. It's pretty much non-usable now in film. There's still some people that cling on to it, so they have a special license for 3ds Max. There's some things that 3ds Max can actually do really well, but essentially it's Maya or nothing. Some smaller studios will actually use Blender because Blender is free source, so they'll use that instead of Maya. But the big studios, if you want to work in a big studios, it's pretty much just Maya these days. So let's have a look at your portfolio. By the way, if you want me to speak about something in particular about your portfolio, then please leave it in the chat, and I'll read it out and see where it goes from there. So let's have a look here. I take it you want to become a character artist or a creature artist. That's why you have more character art stuff than environment stuff, which is great. I don't see the point in people putting environment stuff in their portfolio if they want to be a character artist. And that's something I always say to artists that are looking for a job as a character artist. Don't worry about environment stuff. Although a lot of sort of universities these days will actually say to students, get into environments, do environment stuff, and then when you're in the studio and you put your foot in the door, then jump onto character stuff and work your way through that. I'm not in the realm of saying that. I prefer if people just do character art, because you're going to waste a lot of time doing environment stuff in order to get a job in the industry, and then you're going to have to completely switch that over and do character stuff, which is completely different to doing environment stuff. So if you want to be a character artist, do character stuff, don't do environment stuff. Okay, so he says, yes, artist, but I was in a generalist school. That's fine. At the beginning, it's good to branch out and test some stuff to see what you want to do. I think I'm a good case for this. I went to university and I started off in game design, but then I switched over to animation and did 3D animation. And then when I graduated 3D animation, I jumped back to character art because it's a lot faster, and I could build my portfolio faster as well and get a job faster than I would if I did animation. So I went from game design to animation to game design and character art and film. So yeah, it's good to dabble in a few things at the very beginning, but once you are happy with what you want to do in this career, then go full board with what you want to do. It's a lot easier that way. Yeah, he says the school teachers advised against the character. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't think school teachers or university lecturers or whatever you want to call them I don't think they know enough about the industry. I have my thoughts about university lecturers, to be fair, but I'll keep that to myself. I'll just say this: a lot of them probably have never worked in a studio before, or if they have, they haven't worked long enough. I've been doing this now for at least 10 years, and I'm still learning things in the industry, and I probably know 10 times more than what a university lecturer would know about the industry, because they haven't been in the industry. So don't always believe what your lecturer says. They don't always know everything. Cool, so let's have a look at what you got here. I'm going to start off at the bottom here, because this little guy here intrigues me. Is this a clay sculpture? It is. New 3-edge school based on reference in 2023, inspired by work of Alan Diego Carrasco. Cool. That's impressive, you know. That's the sort of thing I'd love to sort of get into, is actually do some 3D, some actual clay sculpting, like real time or real life clay sculpting. Just because if you do this, sort of, if you learn from this, then when you get into ZBrush, you can adapt to ZBrush faster. If you don't have access to ZBrush and you are a beginning artist and you want to learn how to do creature designs, I would highly recommend grabbing some clay, like this clay sculpture here, grabbing some clay and sculpting the sort of things that you want to sculpt in ZBrush in clay form, and making it through clay, because it's still something that's used in the industry as a concept art. I think the best story I have for this is the Hobbit, the Smaug character, the dragon. Was actually the chosen piece that they chose was not done through ZBrush and Photoshop. It was actually an artist that was doing creature design with clay, and they chose that version over the digital versions that they were, you know, given. And that one was the base model for what they would then create Smaug. So clay sculpting is not dead. It's definitely not dead, and you get to actually have something physical in real life rather than something that's digital, and then you have to 3D print it. So if you haven't got access to a computer, or you haven't got access to ZBrush, I would definitely recommend grabbing some good clay, or just any clay, and start sculpting using real life clay. It also helps because you cannot do symmetry, right? So if you're doing work with clay, you have to do it both sides individually. When you're in ZBrush, you can just switch on a button and it'll do symmetry perfectly, right? Which is good, it's faster, but if you can sort of make something look really good in real life with clay, then, you know, taking it into ZBrush is going to be so much easier for you later on. It's just changing from clay to digital. So that's really cool. And then you got some, what's this? Dune environments. It's not strong. It's your first year, that's fine. It's your first year at VFX workshop, that's fine. But I wouldn't worry too much about putting this in your portfolio. I don't think it's strong enough. There's not enough information here. So we have a good looking render at the top, and then we have a partial work in progress at the bottom. But unless you have something like a time-lapse video or you know, extra images that you can put in, it's not very strong as a piece. So I would probably get rid of that one, X that out. Or if you don't want to X it out, add it to a little slot on the top here. Let me just grab my my portfolio. I'll show you what I mean. So I've told this to a lot of people. If you have a piece of art that you like, but you don't really want to have it in the front and center in the portfolio, then you can create subfolders and add them into subfolders instead. And that way it'll just it won't be deleted, but it'll just be somewhere else that's not fully visible, basically. So yeah, put that one in a subfolder if you like it. If you don't like it and you think it's a bit weak, take it out. It's not really needed. The skull, this looks good. Personal project. Yeah, it's good. And you got a nice turntable, right? Yep. That's a good skull. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. I mean, what you could do if you really want to push it further is texture it, render it with proper lighting and stuff like that. But I think as a sculpt, it's not too bad. Attention to detail is probably a little bit more needed. If you want to boost it a little bit more, you can probably put more attention to detail. But it all depends on your time, I guess, and how much time you have, because yeah, it's possible. It's a possible skull, like a sculpt. I think that's cool, but I don't know why it's down here. It should be further up. I think it should be up here somewhere. I think this one here, the portrait of Joaquin Phoenix. Now I would stay away from likeness, especially if it's celebrity likenesses. If you're not like 100% well, it has to be 100% perfect, but if you're not near enough perfect, it's difficult to sell it. It's just because we see their faces all the time, right? And we can tell if just something is a little bit off on a celebrity or a person's face that we recognize a lot. So I would probably stay clear of likenesses until you've practiced. Like, you go, when I say stay clear, I say stay clear as in put it in your portfolio. What you could do is outside of your portfolio, start to practice more your sculpting techniques and likenesses until you think you've got it good enough and you've shown some people and they've reviewed it, and you know, because it's always going to be that little bit of what do you call it, uncanny valley when it comes to likenesses. And there's only a few people that I know of that can do likenesses very well. So and I think there's like loads of tutorials out there for how to sculpt likenesses, but I haven't got them on me right now. I do know an artist. Let me just try and find it quick. Probably won't be able to find him. Whilst I'm trying to find it, I've got some questions here. So GG, I'm just going to call you GG. I made a creature drawing in Photoshop, my first full drawing so far. I've been working as a photo editor for 8 years, but I'm new to drawing, planning to do more, maybe even try ZBrush. That's great. I'm learning how to draw still, so don't worry about it. You're not the only one. Yeah, drawing is like, for me, it's a totally different kettle of fish, because I'm so used to rotating in 3D and being able to see it from all angles, right? But when it comes to drawing, you kind of have to just draw what you see, basically, or try to replicate something from in a 2D sort of pose, and it's like 2D is flat, you know. It's so difficult to get it right, like the proportions and stuff like that. But something I'm still trying to learn a lot. I'm trying to find the artist that, by the way, I'm not just ignoring you guys, I'm just trying to find the artist that I remember. I think he's too far down though. One second. Nah, he's gone. It's too far down. I don't just want to keep scrolling. Anyway, you got another question here. Would it be okay if I share my Behance link of the creature here to get your feedback? Yeah, sure. If you can put the link in there, then that's great. I'll just open up on a different on a different web page, and I'll bring it over. But I'm just going to finish off the one in front of me real quick, and then I'll jump onto that one. Thibault Roy says, so no portrait on ArtStation for the moment. Too soon? Yeah, I think it's a little too soon. Let me just have a look real quick. I see photorealistic portrait, too soon. Anime sort of characters or cartoon type characters, you know, that's easier to get away with. As you can see here, you got some. It looks a lot better, the anime style stuff, than it does the photorealistic stuff. And also, did you use ZBrush fiber mesh for the hair? Because it looks like you have, and that stuff don't look good at all. That's personal opinion, but I find it doesn't look good at all. If you're going to do photorealistic hair, you need to use XGen, which is a Maya program, a plugin, or hair cards or stuff like that. But yeah, the fiber mesh hair, no matter what you do, it just doesn't work properly. In my opinion, it doesn't work properly. He says portrait is very difficult. Yep, portrait is very difficult. And yeah, I did as well. Like I did it once, but then I was like, I'm never doing that again. Let me just quickly show you what I did with XGen, basically. It's at the bottom. Oh, it's at the bottom of the page. The problem with adding so much artwork is that you have to scroll all the way down to the bleeding bottom before you can actually get to the points we want. And you can't find it. Oh, there it is. So this is what I created using XGen, and I think with XGen you can actually manipulate the fibers better and easier than you would if it was inside of ZBrush, and it just looks more realistic as well when it's rendered with lighting and HDMR eyes and stuff like that. But yeah. So that's how it comes out. That's how it looks when it's inside of Maya when you're using XGen. It's not a difficult program to learn, and when you get it right, it really does look really nice on your creatures. So I recommend looking at XGen for that sort of thing. And I think there's another one. Oh no, wait, backwards. Yeah. So I also did this sort of springbok as well. So you can see it's not amazing because it was literally just I learned the program in 2 hours and I just sort of made something really quickly. But if I was to really focus in on this, then I probably could make it look really good. And there's always a job for grooming artists. So if you learn XGen, you're more likely to get a job as a grooming artist than you would if you became a character artist. Oh, looks like you've put some Greek in there. Is that right? I can't understand what that is. Sorry. So yeah, stay away from likenesses for now. Let's just quickly look at some others. You got a chimpanzee. Worked during my second year at VFX workshop. Yeah, it's good. I think yeah, it's good. Yeah, it just needs a little bit of cleanup work in the back here, around the backside. I think chimpanzees have quite a robust backside, I believe. I could be wrong. Like, they protrude quite a bit. Oh, here it is. It says, do you think I might be interested in posing with manga sculptors, like Ente Ryu style? Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you really want to do, really. Do you want to be a character artist? Do you want to do statues or collectibles? Because there are different techniques for each of these things. So you'd have to learn them and really be into it, you know. It's not something that's just going to happen out of the blue. This 3D stuff takes a long time to learn, and it's going to be very difficult to, well, not very difficult, but it's going to feel like a waste of time if you just learn, if you're learning to get a job really quickly, if there's no passion in what you want, in what you're doing, you know. So you got to really think, do you really want to do anime stuff, or do you want to do film stuff or game stuff? Because anime doesn't always fit very well in those other two categories. Same with the other two categories, doesn't fit with anime because they're two different styles of sculpting. It all depends on what you want to achieve, I guess, and want to be. But you got some good work in here, some good fundamental work. Fairy My Work Fantasy Contest. Okay, that's cool. You're exploring with what we call asymmetry sculpting in here, which is really nice. Really nice techniques to learn is asymmetry sculpting. And we got a nice looking Conan the Barbarian. Again, I think you got a good strong structure in the anatomy department, and that will only grow as you get better. But it's the face that is maybe the part where you need to focus the most. And the faces are always difficult to get looking correct because the proportions. But once you've learned how to do proportions properly, then it shouldn't be too difficult to pick up. Because at the moment it looks more, it's more leaning towards anime style faces, right? But if you want to do photorealistic, then you need to focus in on more realistic features. But I think the anatomy is good, and you'll grow. Your anatomy will grow. I like the extras, so the loincloth and the boots. They look good. You got some nice wrinkles going on in the boots. The swords are quite nice as well. The little skull in the middle could probably do with a little bit more detail in it, but you know, again, don't worry about fixing old projects. Just remember this for your next project and improve on in your next project. I think the hair actually looks a lot better when it's sculpted than when it's done with fiber mesh, but I can understand why it's done with topologies, because it's supposed to be kind of like a 3D printable, I guess. A sort of, I guess, for later on you might want to 3D print it so you have the hair. If you are going to 3D print it later on and you've fixed all the little sort of details I've mentioned, I would just make the hair a little bit thicker. You don't want to have too many straggly bits, because it's a lot more difficult to 3D print that stuff than it is to 3D print something that's a lot thicker. And then we've got this last one, group macro project at VFX Workshop. I am in charge of the lizard and its scales. Here is a whip, work in progress. Okay. I'm not going to go too hard on you because it is a work in progress. But I think the scales are good. Are these texture XYZ scales by any chance, or are they hand sculpted? I think they might be alpha maps, but they look good. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I would, because it does look good, but I would probably, if it's done on a layer, if this is all inside of ZBrush and it's done on a layer, I would double that layer so that the scales are a little bit more away from the skin. I know it's difficult to do that because you're trying to keep to a photo realistic, and you'd have to have the photo next to it and just see the comparisons. But I think the depth of the scales can be just a little bit more, and you can always use a slider to turn down the amount of depth. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think it's got a strong start. The eye probably needs a little bit of work on the specular on the eye, but I'm not sure if that's it's your area that you're working on, like the look dev, or if it's someone else who's doing the look dev. But yeah, looks like a lizard. It's good. Oh, it says the version here is almost finished. Oh, that's great. Yeah, once it is, then just update the images and re-upload it. You have got some funky looking stuff like this robot from Castle in the Sky. I mean, it's not bad looking as a sort of basic, I guess I could say. I know it's probably from an anime, so it has to look basic. But if you're gonna sort of show it off, I would probably make the scenery in the background smaller. Difficult to do because it's from a render, an HDMI render. So maybe take away the background and just have like a gray background. Let me just try and find one of mine real quick. I'll show you what I mean. It's not gray, but it should sort of give you an idea. It's not gray, it's white, but the central focus of the image is the character. You haven't got anything in the background to distract you, right? So that's what I would do with that. I would maybe look into taking away the background, even though you're trying to ground it in an environment. I don't think it's needed per se for the first image. If you want, you can keep these images, and for the first image, you put it on a nice gray neutral background or darker background so that everything is focusing on the character. Also, try not to do it in a landscape, try to do it in a portrait so it makes it look longer and bigger, and also it frames it better. That's a whole thing about framing your artwork. I think I've done it before. So you can see here, it's quite a large image, right? But it's portrait, it's not landscape. So we're focusing even further into the middle of the canvas because it's portrait, not landscape. If you had landscape, then you have so much room for your eyes or the person's eyes to look around. It's gonna just become distracting, right? So just remember that when you're doing sort of artwork. If it's a long character, then obviously landscape. But if it's like a tall character, you're probably better off doing it as a portrait. I think that's about it. I think the wrench, don't need the wrench. I would just put that in a new folder, in the same folder as the environment. And this hand, no, it's a good start, but I think it needs a lot more detail, especially if you're doing something that is so it's so small. Why do I say small? It's not like there's the whole body, right? And the whole body has this attention to detail to it. It's just one small section. So I think, let me just check my sort of thing here. So you see here, I've kind of done the similar, right? But my one's a speed sculpt. It wasn't a detailed sculpt. But you can see if you're gonna sort of make the hand the point of interest, then you need to detail it a lot further than what you've already done. It's a good base, but then if you want to keep it, detail it to really, really well, because otherwise it just looks like a half created piece, right? So redo this one. I would get rid of the portrait of Joaquin Phoenix. Everything else looks fine. Just move this, move the hand, the wrench, the robot. Well, actually keep the robot, just change the perspective of it. The environment, put these three into a new folder as, I don't know, work in progress, or yeah, just put it as work in progress for now. And then have the rest of them in here. Maybe, what's this one? We're gonna have a look at this one, a wolf. Yeah, again, if it's not 100% sort of done, then maybe add some more time to those pieces that are not 100% done, so you have strong pieces in your portfolio. The chimpanzee can move over to the top here. So it goes lizard, Conan, chimpanzee, skull, robot once you fixed it, and then maybe the Levi sketch at the end. Oh, and also the rhino as well. That's how I would plan it. Because you want to show off your best pieces, right? But anyway, I hope that's helped. Just going to close these. I hope that helped. And does anybody else want to leave their portfolios? Let me just refresh the page real quick. Just checking the other side, the other screen real quick. We have one from CTEF, Stefano's, from YouTube Live. Okay. Hyper realistic visit website. So this is on Behance. Ooh, all these. Okay. I'm going to bring this over. Okay, so we have one from Stefano, and we are looking at what we're looking at. A Photoshop. A Photoshop. That's not bad, actually. I thought it was 3D. Huh. Digital art drawing of a vampire, no AI. Hyper realistic digital. Okay. So I'm not 100% great at acknowledging Photoshop art, but I'll take a crack at it. I mean, it is hyper realistic. This is more detail than I do, to be fair. Oh, we got a work in progress. Huh. So what's the final sort of outcome you want out of this? Oh, you have more stuff. Is this all your stuff? Oh. What's the final outcome you want out of this? Because it looks cool. It's very surreal, I want to say. Like, it's got that sort of, I'm not 100% sure about terminology when it comes to real life artwork, like the surreal or postmodern, all those sort of things, but it has a very unique look to it. It's very romanticized, isn't it? I think it's not like it's a scary vampire. It's very sort of calming, is the best way I could say. I do love the orange, though. The orange on the highlight to the left side here is really nice. The chin might be a little long, but again, if it's going for that romanticized sort of surreal look to it, then it works. It's very Dali. What's his name? Dali. Let me just check quick. If I can spell his name right. Salvador Dali, that's the one. Portraits. It's very like intense as well, the way it looks. It's pretty nice. I like it. It hasn't got very many portraits in Salvador Dali that I like. Never mind. Anyway, he says, this is my first drawing of a vampire. I have not studied anything for drawing, just wanted an opinion if that's good enough, and I think in the near future maybe to switch to ZBrush for easier portraits. I mean, you've got some good skills. If this is your first version, it's very good skills, and I think it's going to help a lot more once you get into ZBrush. It's going to help a lot more that you know the way to light a character inside of Photoshop and composite inside of Photoshop, which is one of the things that a lot of people don't tend to get right when it comes to compositing. So you got some good skills there for that. You should be well on your way for that. It says, I did it using Photoshop and Wacom Intuos Pro. Took me over 100 hours. Bloody hell. I don't think anything's taken over 100 hours of mine. Now that's impressive, mate. It's very impressive. I mean, it does show, right? Because the more you work on your artwork, the more it'll show in the final piece. And that's why maybe sometimes my artwork doesn't look very great because I only spend like 2 to 3 hours on pieces. But if I had to spend like 100 hours, I would probably get down to the nitty gritty, poor detail. Like this is got this porous skin detail and subtle highlights and stuff like that. He's even got like some sort of peach fuzz going on along the skin here, just sort of hair, false hair sort of stuff. It says the rest are photo editing in my Behance, no drawing. Okay, no, it looks good, man. I do like it, and I think having knowledge on how to light it properly is going to be very beneficial to you later on. Let me just check my one real quick. So I did this one inside of ZBrush, obviously, and then I took it into Photoshop and I enhanced it using Photoshop for compositing. And I think with the skills that you have acclaimed or gotten through Photoshop, you'll be able to do pretty much the same sort of thing with your character. And I think if you look at this, right, this is a good idea of what I'm going on about. This image looks nothing like the ZBrush model, right? Because I've used the camera inside of ZBrush and I've sort of changed the focal point in the camera to make it look like this. If it wasn't for the compositing, the lighting, and the camera angle, and all those other things, it would actually look very different. You see, so this is what it actually looks like in real life. Or I say real life, it's not real life, it's digital, but you can see with a camera lens of 60, right? So focal point of 60, which is a normal camera lens that you might use. The face looks a lot different here than it does there or there, right? And that's kind of the, what are you going to say? How can I say this? It's the magic. I always say magic. It's more of tricking the audience to what you want to show them, you know? It's not false because it is there, but it's forcing the model to look like something it's not. It's so difficult to explain. Basically, it looks nothing like the model, but I've used the model as a base inside of Photoshop with colors and textures. And then what I've done is I've gone into Photoshop and I've just enhanced it using compositing techniques to make it look like what you see in the image here. And so you could do the same thing if you start learning ZBrush. You could do this exact same thing, and you'll already have the skills of Photoshop compositing to be able to do that inside of Photoshop. So yeah, but thank you very much for sharing that piece with us. I'm just going to check my portfolio real quick, or my Discord real quick, and see if there's anything in there. Nope, no new ones. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. Like I mentioned before, people are probably on holiday, and they've probably got other things to do than be on this live stream. It's normally a lot more busier on portfolio reviews, but like I said, holiday times, no one's going to be around, so we'll just do the ones that we can do, and then I'll just carry on sculpting this thing in the background. If you have any questions you want to ask me, then please go ahead, ask me your questions. I'll be around maybe for the next, I'm going to say 20 minutes just doing this. Unless there's someone else's portfolio comes through, then I'll go through the portfolio. But if not, then I'll just be around for another 20 minutes, just adjusting this character and sculpting this character. I don't really want to do it in silence, so if you guys do have a question, that would be great. I can answer it whilst I sculpt my character. Says Gigi says, or Stefano says, awesome, thank you very much. We'll try get ZBrush soon. Brilliant. It is a bit pricey. I will mention that the latest version of ZBrush is very pricey. So yeah, just be wary of the price tag, because they changed it, didn't they? They changed it a while ago to be a subscription, and it didn't go down. I don't think it's gone down well with the 3D world. That's why a lot of people use Blender now, because it's free and they can open, and it's open source as well. So they're just designing new processes and techniques inside of Blender to make it work better. So it's kind of a shame, because I think the whole perpetual license thing, even though they weren't making money, ZBrush, Pixelogic, through licenses, they did have a loyal fan base. So it's a little bit of a shame, really. But I guess you can't really stop progress, can you? You have to, at some point, everything's got to be charged. Right, that's a little bit of a fin in the background there, on the back there. Let me just Dynamesh that. Dynamesh, where's it? There it is. Dynamesh is great because you get to clean up the topology. It also adds a little bit more topology for you to play with. Look what's going on here. Just going to inflate that, Dynamesh it again, and then I'm going to move that back. Oh, let me just put the link to my Discord. The link is in the chat, but if it's too far up, I will put it back in the Discord. Here we go. So Andrea Marchete says hello to everybody. Hello. If you want, this is a portfolio review live stream, so if you want, I can review some of your portfolios. You can ask me for advice, or if you want me to just have a look over your portfolio, make sure it's all good, then please put in, go to the link in the Discord and drop it in the portfolio section. Just going to refresh the Discord real quick. Nope. Okay. If you do that in the next 20 minutes, then I will look at it. But yeah, after that, I'm going to head out because, like I mentioned multiple times, people on holiday, so they're probably not going to come to this live stream tonight. Or they're either on holiday or they're just given up on my live streams. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so that's like a back type thing going on there. It's not done, obviously. It's just a prototype for now. That's a block in. Okay, let's go towards these arms and see what we can do here. So I think we we finished off these arms last time by just adding some basic structure to them. And by the way, we'll be moving on to arms when it comes to the anatomy on Monday. So if you haven't already, you can become a member and you can watch the anatomy courses from the Monday live stream and catch up. And then we're going to move on to the arms next week. I've got to do some prep work for that, scanning images and everything else. I might as well be a teacher, to be fair. All the work I've done we'll have to do. What's going on with this neck here? Says Andrea Machete says, even though I kind of know what I need to do to level up my portfolio, I would love to hear your opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, more than happy to give you my opinion. If we do that, then it'll be the last one for tonight, and then that'll just run really nicely for the next 20 minutes. So if you can, drop your portfolio in Discord. Yes, in the art portfolio. Sorry, should have mentioned that. Yeah, in the art portfolio. And like I mentioned before, I am going to update the Discord so that it's a lot more streamlined. ESH. Have you got anything in particular you'd like me to sort of look for in your portfolio? Let me know in the comment section and I'll try to remember. Oh, that looks weird. Guessing he's gonna have to have gills somewhere, isn't he? Like to breathe through. Just have one big gill there. Oh, shoot. Are you able to put it in the chat on YouTube? And I'll be able to open the link through that. See if you can do that. It's a After Effects. It's an ArtStation portfolio, hopefully. Those are the best ones to have, by the way. If you're a beginning artist and you're at university and your university lecturer says you need to create a website, don't bother. You're just going to waste time creating a website, because most studios just look at ArtStation. So build yourself an ArtStation before making a website. I mean, websites are pointless because you have to pay for the domain name, so you're already out of pocket. Whereas ArtStation, you just create one for free, or unless you want to pay extra to become a professional, which if you're just beginning, you don't really need to. So by the way, I'm just doing this totally from memory. I'm not even looking at any references when it comes to this concept. So it could go really weirdly. It could go completely bonkers design-wise. Also, I'm trying not to do it too quickly. Normally, I'd speed through this sort of thing, but I like to take my time with this one. Not like the other ones that I normally create. Say that's the gills. Whoops. Cool. I don't know if I want to put that there. Actually. That could be quite cool. Add a sort of nostril type thing there. Or maybe not. I think it'll be nicer if it's just flat, right? Yeah, don't add too much in there really. It'll just sort of pull away from the sort of design that we're going for. So just gonna leave it like that for now. Oh, Andrea, is your portfolio ready? Oh, so what have you been working on lately? Well, I mean, at the moment, full-time work as a character artist for a VR company, VR games company. So that's what I've been doing full-time. But I do have some things, like I can't really say too much about the other things that I do, because if I do, then it's sort of it's supposed to be I don't want to say secret, but it's supposed to be spontaneously upload a video of a creature, and so people don't see what it is before it's uploaded. So I can't really say what I've been working on. There is something I have been working on though that isn't probably going to be a video, like time-lapse video. It's Kratos. I want to create my own Kratos from what do you call it, God of War. I haven't got any images of him up, but I'm kind of at the anatomy stage still, trying to get his anatomy correct. And I think what I'm going to do for that one is I'm gonna make it sort of, I want to take it all the way through to sort of final character, so proper topology, textures, and all that sort of thing. The problem I have is my machine is old, and I'm waiting for a new one to come through. So I have to wait for that to happen, because I can't even open up Substance Painter anymore. That's how old my machine is, and I think it's just, yeah, it's not enough. Not enough. What do you call it? RAM or on the graphics card. I've got so many things plugged into this little machine of mine. So yeah, I'm surprised I haven't actually crashed the computer yet. Doing these live streams and stuff, but it's definitely needs an update. So what I'm going to do is I've bought a new machine, and then what I'll do with this one I have right now, because the case is still good, I'm going to update all the tech inside. But I want, because normally what I'll do is I'll get like PC specialists to build me a computer. But I think what I want to do as a sort of side project is refurbish the one the one I have at the moment, refurbish it and put new tech into it by myself. So build a PC basically. I've never built a PC, so I think it'll be quite a nice little project to sort of achieve or to do in my spare time. But I'm only going to do it once I have a proper machine up and running, because I don't want to screw things up and, you know, break stuff. So yeah. Oh, Georgie says, good evening, how can I send my portfolio to you for a quick review? Thanks. Yeah, there is a link. This link here, it should be up in the chat a little further up. If you put your link in there, then I'll have a look at it. Still waiting for Andrea's one to come through, but I'm not sure if it's going to come through. But yeah, put it through there. Thibot says, do you think it's still too early for me to try to make my own characters or creatures? Never too early to make your own characters and creatures. But what I would suggest is, I mean, you've got a good sort of beginning fundamentals of anatomy. I don't see why you shouldn't, you know, start making your own creatures and characters. I would probably use reference, maybe find an artist's artwork that you like, and then try to replicate that as close as possible. Because if you're doing it off your own memory or your own sort of make-believe stuff, it's difficult to ground it. But if you have someone else's work and you can keep it exactly how that person's made it, then it's a lot more beneficial, and it's grounded better, and it's also supported by the concept artwork, and you can kind of judge how it looks in comparison. Oh, he says, oh boy, yeah, I totally understand. Oh, we got some more in here. He says, I put it in the chat. Oh, because on Discord it says that I can't write. Did you put it in the chat? I don't think I saw it. I can't see. Is it a chat room? No. Try adding it into the chat again, and I'll see if it pops up. I don't see it in here. Yeah, try doing that. Sorry, it's this whole Discord bloody link thing is just really stupid. I mean, the amount of times I've said to make it permanent link, and every time someone tries to use it, it just stops working. So I have to remake a new link, and then it's just a pain in the ass. What's going on here? See, this area here has got there's a lot of flatness to here, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Should I cut in? Yeah, let's do that. Actually, that will be quite a good idea to do later on. I don't want to do it straight away. It's like going into too much detail. I'm going to just check the YouTube real quick. I don't think you can share at least. Oh, damn. Okay. I'll tell you what, you can, if you can, what we'll do is, if you can log into the Discord and log in, then we'll save your one for next time. I'm just wary about time right now. So if you put your portfolio into the Discord and you're able to get into Discord, oh, you can actually just search you. Maybe we could just do that. Yeah, let me just 1 second. I'm gonna look you up. It's ArtStation, yes. And then Georgie, I will do you afterwards. Andrea Marfetta. Andrea Marfetta. Italy. Is it this one? Oh, gotta just cover that. Is it this one? Yes. Yep. Okay. Cool. So what we got here? We got Andrea Marfetta. Is it Marfetta? Marchetta. Digital sculptor from Italy. Let's have a look at his about real quick. So I'm a digital sculptor specializing in collectibles, with nearly 6 years of practical experience working with ZBrush. I am seeking opportunities to further develop my skills and knowledge as a digital sculptor whilst continuing to improve my craft. Cool. So you have softwares in ZBrush and Maya. I guess that's all you need because you're a digital sculptor for collectibles. So you don't really need to use Photoshop, Substance Painter, stuff like that, I guess. That's actually probably the best place to be, is one of those people, because you don't need to buy all the other programs. Cool. Let's have a look at your portfolio real quick. Now, we have a bit of nudity there, so I'm just going to hide that right there. So just going to have a look from the bottom to top. We're going to go from bottom to top. So we got a Mr. Robot, we got a android, a cave troll, the Imitation Game, a dwarf by the looks of it, a skull. Very popular skulls. I don't know why. But yeah, very popular. We got a bodybuilder, which is good for anatomy, which is great. We have a few anatomy sculpts here. We got a nude Superman, or what would be a Superman. We got 2 Superman figures and a face sculpt. So my eye is already drawn towards, well, it's obviously drawn towards the color versions. So we're going to have a look at the Superman real quick. Superman fan art. Cool. I mean, you have got good anatomy skills here, so I'm not going to sort of judge it. In fact, what are we looking for? Or what are you trying to get out of your portfolio? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go with it? A little bit of information like that would be great, because I think you have got some good skills in anatomy, in the male anatomy in particular, right? Now, if you want to improve, you'll have to jump out of your you'll have to jump out of your, what do you call it? Comfort zone. That's the word. And start looking at maybe some females, some more creature design stuff, animals. You know, we can see here that you can do good anatomy sculpting of males, but I think a few more sort of maybe other female genders would be great. I'm just going to jump to this robot real quick, because that is pretty cool. That's some good detail in that. Your second year project, bloody hell! I didn't even do this in my second year. So I mean, you got the eye. I'll say you have the eye for detail, which is good. I always love looking at sort of hard surface stuff, because it's so clean, right? And it takes I have to give credit to people who can do hard surface sculpting inside ZBrush, because it takes a lot of patience, and you have to think 5 steps ahead when you're doing hard surface in order to make the pieces make sense. And it's even more difficult than you might think, because you have to think, how does the hips rotate? How do the arms rotate? Does the joints work in the proper way? Is there enough room for the joints to work properly? Is the armor sort of making sense in the way that the sort of, the top half of the body can rotate and all that sort of thing? So it's a lot more difficult than people think to make hard surface characters. But I think this is really cool, actually. I would add a bit more color if you really wanted to. Wow, I would maybe step out of the pure black, and if it's a police, you can have red and blue, or some sort of emergency service type colors. There's tons of different types of emergency services you can implement into this. So you could have this as a medic, you could have it as a police force, army, do variations of them. And I mean, you can always go back to this if you have the folders and the pieces still. It's still a very strong sort of sculpt and design. So if you wanted to, you can jump back into this, do some variations in textures, maybe make one really rusty, make one really clean. So a gold version or whatever, just to give some more variations, and that will add to your portfolio as well. This cave troll, I think this one, yeah, it was a flip normals. I can see the similarities into it. Yeah, it's a more cartoon version of the cave troll. It's got more of a cartoonish look to it. but it's good because it can show that you can follow along to a tutorial really well, and you've got some nice details in the wrinkles here. Again, it's a little bit too cartoonish for me. I think that's your strong point though, so that's cool. I'm just gonna check the chat real quick. It says I copied the 3D scan store scan for the skull for practice. I would like to work for collectibles companies like Sideshow, PCS, etc. Yeah, that would be interesting. That was done entirely in Maya. Bloody hell. The robot, sorry. But I had concept kind of. Okay, so you want to do collectibles. Okay. So if you look at, let me try and find it myself. Sideshow. Oh god, there's so many in here. Because Sideshow is done by multiple artists as I guess it's not freelance. Maybe most of them are freelance, but there's some that are permanent staff, right? But if you look at the types of work that they create, so we got one here from Fabian Cardoso. So we got a rogue character. I'm not sure if it's PC enough or good for. It's not going to get flagged by YouTube, hopefully. But you can kind of see the level of detail that they go to and the obvious exaggeration that they go through. But if you had a female version of Rogue or a female version of any superhero type character, doesn't matter what it is, I'm just going to move this out of the way real quick, and you sort of learn the female side as well, then I think you'd be in a lot stronger position. Yeah, I think Sideshow stuff, like they love to exaggerate within the posing of characters as well. So if you see here, we got another one here from Martin Canale, Sideshow Collectible. You can see the types of posing that they have and the sort of muscle sculpts that they got as well. I got going on. You're going to have to learn asymmetrical sculpting really well. I mean, Sideshow is very difficult to get into as an artist. It's like top of the top, basically. But the best thing about it, though, is if you can actually get into it, like get your mindset into it and your workflow into it, you'll be able to sculpt anything in any other sort of line of work, you know. So at the moment, you've got some good, strong anatomy going on here. As I mentioned before, if you go and you type into the search bar at the top there, just type in Sideshow. Is it Sideshow? Yeah. Is it Sideshow? Yeah. Sideshow. You can just see what other artists are creating for that company, right? So that's the sort of thing you need to focus your portfolio towards. You've got two pieces in here which are aiming at that. You got actually three pieces that are aiming towards that sort of style very well. You got the Mr. Robot and the two Supermen, very much closer to what Sideshow does. The rest of it is good. It's really good, actually. The only one that sticks out a lot is that robot, which I really like. If you were going to be a character artist or games artist, that would do really well. But if it's not going to be for Sideshow, sort of a Sideshow portfolio style, I would maybe move that into, well, you have them up there, so that's good. You have a separate portfolios up there as well. So I would maybe make your, instead of having it as in your portfolios section at the top here, instead of having stylized, which I think is all the collectible stuff, right? Nope. Personal anatomy study, second year. Okay, so you have got one that's just portfolio. Okay, I would name this one collectibles. Even though it's not an actual collectible, they're more suited towards collectible designs, right? They're more suited towards a collectible than a portfolio piece. So I maybe make this call this portfolio, instead of portfolio, call it collectibles, and then just keep everything as it is for now. Yeah, I think you're well on your way. I would move the first one over 3, so it's sitting where this guy is at the moment, this nude one is, and have these 2 Supermen at the front. Then the Imitation Game, then Mr. Robot, because they're quite close to collectibles as well. They sort of look so, and they look more finished as well. So with color and all that sort of thing. So move them up as well. And then the rest of them just keep as they is. The robot stands out a lot more because it's not a collectible type style, but I think you can keep it in there. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for you. The best thing you can do if you want to join a studio is to mimic what studios do in their portfolios. So like I said, if you search on ArtStation Sideshow and you see all those sort of Sideshow sort of collectibles on there, right? Just mimic what you see in front of you. So try to focus your work into the stuff that's on there. And just pull it over, really. I'll show you what I mean. So I just searched in the side here. I just searched for Sideshow. And this is what comes up. It comes up with a whole load of things in here, which are Sideshow. Some are Sideshow, some aren't Sideshow, but you can filter out the ones that aren't. And you can kind of see, especially at the top here, the sort of look they're going for, right? The sort of things that they're going for. And if you just sort of mimic what you see here, so you got a Batman, put a Batman, create a Batman. Everybody loves a collectible Batman. Everybody loves the Hulk, right? So make a Hulk. Make a Rogue, Catwoman, a Venom. Venom's a very particular one that they love, so make a Venom. Just you got such a variety of characters that you could create for your portfolio that would actually boost your portfolio further, especially if you're staying mainstream stuff as well. So have a look through what you have there, see the ones that are most popular, and try to create your own version of it, and then put it in your portfolio. But you have a good start, and I think those 2 Supermen, Imitation Game, and Mr. Robot's going to help you help show off that you can create collectibles type stuff. Okay. Hope that was helpful. Let me just check the Discord real quick. Okay. I got one more portfolio. I think it's going to be the last portfolio for tonight, so I'm just going to open this one. This is from Georgie Kolesnikov. Georgie Kolesnikov. I'm just going to open it up. Just going to check it before I put it up. All right. There we go. So this is from Georgie from Russia. It says, "Hello, my name is Georgie and I'm specializing in creating 3D characters. Share some facts about me. Okay, yeah. Teacher, I am very dedicated in love of art. Some software I use. Contact regarding collaboration. Please write and email me. Cheers." Okay. Cool. Nice, straight to the point. Probably don't need to add these pieces in your little about me section on the right here, because it'll be available to see in here anyway. If they wanted to see the sort of stuff, your about stuff, they'll go to the about page. So I mean, it's nothing wrong with having it on the right hand side here, but keeping it short and simple to the point in that little section there is pretty much the name of the game. Yeah, cool. So let's have a look. You got ZBrush, Unreal, Marvelous Designer, Marmoset Toolbag, Maya, Rism, UV, Photoshop, and Substance Paint. Okay. Let's have a look at portfolio. So if you could let me know in the chat, what are you looking to achieve with your portfolio? Are you in a job at the moment? Do you want to be in a job? What kind of job do you want to have? Is it game, film, collectibles? I mean, if you could let me know a little bit more about what your intentions are, then that would be really cool. But I'm just going to quickly look through some stuff. This Venom one is quite interesting. It'd be a lot better if we could see the actual piece. So when it comes to showing off your work, especially when they see these little thumbnails, it's a good idea to what do you call it? Crop them in a visible way, right? So if I just jump over to mine real quick, and I just pull that apart to the side, you can see here when looking at my portfolio, there are a few that are a bit more mystique or mysterious. So you got the little the thing here, which is very mysterious. You just see his stomach and that sort of thing, but that's done on purpose because I want people to click on it, right, and go into it and see what it is. But typically you try to frame your thumbnail so that it shows off what you're looking at. So I did a Venom recently, this one, the Tom Hardy one, and you can see from the thumbnail I've just cropped his top in, but you can kind of see, it gives you a little bit of a hint about what is actually going on in that portfolio piece, right? So if you click on it, then it will open up to what it is finally what you want to see, basically. And so if I look at your one here, you kind of done the same thing. You've cropped these ones, these four up here really well. We can kind of see what's going on. We know what we're going to see when we go into it, and we're more interested to see when we click on it. Whereas the Venom one, although I know what you're trying to do there, you're trying to show off that it is a Venom concept and you're trying to give a hint about what's going on in this image. I think it would be more beneficial if you actually just cropped in Venom's head rather than have the sign cropped in, or even use this one as the thumbnail, or this one. I mean, you could choose from any angle you want. It's all very, very nice anyway. I do like this. I do love a bit of Venom in portfolios. But yeah, I would change the thumbnail so it's a bit more inviting, because at the moment it just says Venom, and of course people are going to click on it because it says Venom. But if you actually had a picture of Venom on there, then they'd be more enticed to click on it. And it's a very nice sculpt. He says, I want to get my first job. I am in the studying process for 2.8 years. I've started completely from zero. I'm interested in creating characters. In October, I'll attend portrait classes. Okay, cool. Portrait classes in ZBrush portrait classes or 2D portrait classes? Because it's good idea to have skills in all artwork, by the way. If you're doing 3D, it's a good idea to have skills in 2D. If you're doing 2D, it's a good idea to have some sort of skill or knowledge about 3D as well, because the more skills you have under your belt, the more likely you are to be hired and retain a job at the end of the day. But let's have a look what we got here. So I'm going to start from the bottom and move my way up again. We're going to go through this a little bit quickly and see what we got. So we got a Nico Knight. Nico Knight has been done on the 2D concept by, okay. So it's a game ready character by the looks of it. Okay. That's nice. I like that. The concept's nice. The sculpt is good. It's got the likeness, very much well got the likeness of the character, which is good. Some presentation skills though would be better off changed a little bit. So if you're going to show off your character, firstly, you want to show off the character more than you want to show off the background, right? If you're a character artist, what's a major, not majorly wrong, but something that is something that I keep talking to everybody about is portrait versus landscape. Portrait, if you're doing a character, you're more likely to put your character into portrait unless it's a very long character, like a whale or a sort of creature that's very long. Then you can put that into a landscape. But typically you want to put your characters in portrait. Now, don't worry, I have done the same mistakes as everybody else has done in the beginning, and I put everything in landscape, and then I have huge picture, but a very little character, right, in the middle. And so when I look at this, I just think to myself, is this a promotional piece for Unreal, or is this a character design, right? What I would do is change it so it's portrait, and then the background is either blurred out or you change the color of the background, just make it a neutral color. Because at the moment, there's a lot of very deep blacks going on the picture, and it's sort of drawing my eye away from your character, like the final piece. And I think it's the same thing as we go down here. So again, the character in this video, very nice character, very well made, but it's kind of been washed out by the background. It's too detailed in the background and the character's not. So you got a real background, but you've got a sort of 3D character. The two don't really go together. I would maybe get rid of the background, have the floor as it is. So you see how this floor is here on the bottom. I would keep that, and then in the background I would just make it a ramped up sort of shade. Let me just try and find an image. I'll show you what I mean by that. So this one, you can see here, this is not the same, obviously not the same. This one's done in the landscape because it's on all four legs. But you can see here that the background is very basic. It's just a little bit of smoke, a little bit of dark background, a little bit of light here and there. The main focus is on the character or the creature, right? So let me just try and find another one real quick for comparison. We could go for this one. Again, this one, background, very boring, very bland background. A little bit of the foreground for the sort of rocky sort of look to it, but the most important thing is the character, right? So when I look at this one, the lighting on the character doesn't match the background. If you took the background away and you put a lighter background in there, like it would just make it look a bit more like it fits the environment. Yep, see, there's a lot of darkness in these patches here. So you got a patch here that's dark, you got a patch here that's dark, and it's very difficult to sort of focus on the character, especially when all the colors as well are the same color as your character. It sort of bleeds into everything else as well. Hold on, I got some questions here. It says same thing in character art, like figure skills, texture skills, feature skills. Yeah. Oh, got one for it. I'm going to learn in ZBrush how to make traditional sculptures, especially I'm going to learn how to make portraits from photos. Oh, okay. He says, I agree. That was my first attempt in Unreal. I just got too excited, and yeah, it looks more like a project about Unreal, not about character. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a little bit of observation. So it's always easy to go back and change it if you want to, but if you're trying to move forward, then don't worry about it too much. I would maybe make a new portfolio at the top here and put old stuff, like just make a folder called old stuff or work in progress stuff, and I'll stick that in there because it doesn't fit with the rest of your portfolio as well. So I keep looking over here when you're actually over here. It doesn't fit with the rest of your portfolio, especially if you're trying to make more realistic type characters. So either get rid of it or put it in a new folder. So he want okay. You did say you wanted to do, I'm going to learn in ZBrush how to make traditional sculptures. Specifically, I am going to learn how to make portraits from photos. The portraits from photos is a very difficult thing to master. I do see you have got a Witcher right here, which is great. You have got a very good likeness of the Henry Cavill, I believe he's called. But it's going to take a long time. Photorealistic people, especially from photos, is a very difficult thing to get right. Like I mentioned before in another one, I think it was Thibault had one. The uncanny valley aspect of portrait sculpting, it's very, very easy to suss out or to look to find, right? So if you're going to do it, don't add them into your portfolio until you've, I guess, I don't want to say mastered, but until you've sort of got it 80% there, really nicely like created pieces. This one's okay. It's got a little bit of uncanny valley going on. It's the likeness is somewhat there. I can kind of see what you're going for there. Don't be ashamed by it either, because I've done the same thing. If we scroll down to the bottom here on my portfolio, I'll show you what I mean. Where is it? And this is why I don't go towards celebrity celebrity sculpting type thing, celebrity faces. So you see here, I did an Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is done post composition, so I've sort of tweaked it a bit more to make it look a little bit more like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the actual face is got that uncanny valley look to it, right? It doesn't look exactly like him, and people will tell you and point it out straight away. But I do like the sculpt still. I just think I didn't go far enough with it, basically. If I come down here, you can see this is the actual sculpt of his face in ZBrush. Yeah, it was difficult. It's always difficult to do likenesses, especially of famous people. So you're better off learning how to do it from a professional artist. Now, there are a few out there, tutorials out there, that'll show you how to get likenesses correct. I just cannot remember the artist's name at the moment. It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot remember it. But there are artists out there have got some courses out there for you. Let's have a look at this one real quick. So this is a demon from Lineage 2, inspired by Lineage 2. I mean, your sculpting skills are there, which is great. You got good anatomy, good sense of silhouettes, sort of shapes and stuff like that. Good balance of shapes and stuff. Yeah. What I like about this is it's got a nice sense of, like I said, balance to it. So you got nice armor type shapes, and the muscle shapes are very well balanced. The head is a little bit big, maybe a little bit big, but that's only maybe because his mouth is open, so it could look like he's got a bigger head. Yeah, it's nice. I like that one. I think the issue though is the texturing, I think, because you can sculpt really well, right? But when it comes to texturing, is still that learning curve, I think, that's needed. But I guess that sort of stuff comes in time as you progress. Yeah, you see the hair. I would have sculpted the hair. I would have sculpted the hair straight out the back, because it's a lot more difficult to rig it when it's in a posed state than it is if it was straight on, and you can manipulate the hair better. Because you see it's struggling to get that curve that you probably wanted out of it, sort of that pose you wanted about. But I mean, yeah, that's just rigging. I'm not 100% on rigging in total. We've got an Ogren from, I'm guessing, Warhammer 40k, which is great. I love a little bit of Warhammer 40k. Yeah. You see, you got good fundamentals like the sculpting of the silhouettes, the shapes, the silhouette shapes and anatomy shapes, and then you add the extras on top, which is great. This is exactly how you would do it for studio stuff. Where is it? Let's go to the top again. In terms of an Ogren, I think he's a bit too clean for an Ogren, but this is just nitpicking, really. I think if you look at an Ogren, they're usually quite grotesque looking things, like they've been through hell, basically. But yeah, good solid sculpt. Just open this one up. This is the Ogren game ready version. Okay. We got some hair cards on these arms there. I'm just going to skip down to here. It's nice having the sort of preview of your character, but I just want to see, as an artist, looking at portfolios, as a professional artist looking at portfolios, or if you're looking to hire someone, it's better to just get to the point, because a lot of lead artists will only have about 5 minutes to look at portfolios, so they'll probably skip this top one and scroll straight down to the second video to see the turnaround, and then they'll just keep moving down and looking at things very quickly. Yeah, looks nice. It's got that plastic look to it, though. I mean, obviously it's Warhammer. It probably will have a plastic look, but I can see what you were going for there with this character, but again, it's too clean as well. If you think of the sort of environment that these characters are living in, they would never be this clean or we call it, I don't want to say perfect, like there would be bullet holes in his skin, there'd be scars, there'd be mud, there'd be blood, there'd be everything all over him. His eyes wouldn't be as young looking. They probably have bags on their eyes, so you can probably put some color underneath the bags to make it look a bit more like he's been through hell. A big scar on his face, just added extra things to add to his character, basically. But it's a good start. It's a good start to it. And then finally, we got the Knight, which is a studio decided to share as an experience. I mean, 10 hours. Okay. I mean, yeah, pretty cool. It's just a gray. Oh, that's quite nice. It's just a gray box model. Absolutely fine. Not gonna. I think your skills are in actual sculpting. When it comes to texturing, they can maybe do with a little bit more. I mean, this one's got good texturing. I guess these two here were old models anyway, but I do like the Venom bust you've got here. It's very well made. Yeah, very well rendered as well. I love a bit of Venom. It's one of those characters that you just can't. Well, you can go wrong, but you can just go crazy with when it comes to sculpting. So how would I organize this portfolio? So I would keep Venom at the front. Just change the thumbnail. I would keep Witcher because it's got good texturing. It's got some good sculpting in it. I would keep these four, but I would revisit these two to texture. Well, actually, just revisit this one to texture it a little bit more, give it a bit more character to him. And then I would probably get rid of the Knight and get rid of the Nico Knight and put them into a work in progress folder in the background. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. And that's it, really. Yeah, I think that's about it for those ones. Just gonna close that. So yeah, I think that's it. Let me just check my Discord real quick. Yep, no more portfolios. Brilliant. Say brilliant. But yeah, a really, really great portfolio, guys. Like I mentioned before at the very beginning, there's probably going to be less people in tonight because of the holidays, which is absolutely fine. They'll just have to pick this up if they're members later on, or if they want, they can do it next week. Next month. It's always at the end of the month. We do a portfolio review. So yeah, I really want to thank you guys for staying tonight. I'm just going to end the live stream here now. So we didn't get through much of this character. We changed it a little bit. We changed it from a predator creature to a sea creature, and I think we're just going to continue on with the sea creature theme. I think it's going to look a lot better. But like I said before, I'm going to leave this one to only the portfolio review live stream. So next time we see this, I'm probably going to change a bit more here and there. It's going to be a gradual thing. It's not going to be done anytime soon. I really want to take my time with it and make it look really cool, and then hopefully at some point take it into Photoshop and composite it into a nice image. But yeah, that's about it. Let me just come over here real quick, and there we go. I'm going to turn off the text. I'm going to turn off the banner. There we are. Cool. All right. So that was the portfolio live stream, guys. Thank you very much for staying in tonight. I do want to just go over the members. So if you haven't become a member already for YouTube, you can become a member. You can grab all the old live streams and the tutorial live streams in the archives, and if you are a member, you'll be able to watch all of them again. This live stream will be up for the rest of the week, which is not very long. It's about 2-3 days, and then it'll go straight to membership only. Although I think I might change that. I think I might change it so that portfolio reviews are always available. Only the Thursday ones without the portfolio. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to rethink the whole idea of the YouTube stream, because I need more. I want more people to watch my videos, and locking it behind a paywall. Some people might pay for it, some people won't. But you know, that's the end. That's the name of the game, really. Yeah, just want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You can see here we've got loads of YouTube members now. We got ZBrush Argentina. Oh my god, because this is the worst part for me, is naming all these people. Yazukan, Yodai, Omega, S Souza, Magaburs, WTC, Casser, Caesar, Sculpts, Joseph Monroe. Those are the new members, the 1-monthers. There's Sunel, Verma, Alicia, Marzola, Pivot, Tobias, Home Slice Creative, Tefik, Sahin, Courtney Gale, a Japanese or Korean or Chinese. I cannot tell the difference. I'm so sorry, but that's what they came up as, and I don't know the name. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. DigiLocker Art and 3D Art and Design, and Krishnesh, I think that's how it says, Sharma. For my 2-monthers, I want to thank Ivan Savoyne, Maria Carvalho, Nicholas Anastasio, another Japanese person or Asian person, thank you very much. Abishk, Paswan, Wesley, Bswat, Shrev Fennec, Dylan McDixon, another Asian person, thank you very much. MHN Artist, EMAC 3D, EFPV Section, Seville, Black Socrates, Black Secretes, I think that's how I said. 6 monthers, Joseph Bunkowski, Dave Newhouse, Matteo Salek, Alternative 35, Ganesh, Jace Burgoyne, and Joe Louis Fratius. Oh, I hate doing names. I'm so bad at them. Anyway, here's the Patreons. It's your turn now. We've got Tier 1, Alan CE. Tier 2, Alberto R.D. Lafleur. Sorry. Best in Shot, Gradual Boredom, Jason, Joseph, Bunkowski, King Amp, Chrono, Lost in Limbo, Makai 903, Rafael Diaz, Shabicio Malepo, Thassa, Tom Uro in Tier 2, and in Tier 3, Aaron Todman, Ecole Francois de Palatosh? Oh, my goodness. Erwin Vandermein, Gabriel. Can we just have normal names, guys? It'd be so much easier. Gabriel, Ganesh, Hofi76, Jack Boer, Jeremy Mock, Roger, Tyler Kraus, and I'm going to say an Asian person, but I'm not 100% sure. It could just be hieroglyphics at this point. But thank you very much anyway. Cool. Right. Well, that was embarrassing, but I have to do it. It's the Thursday thing. Just going to check my messages real quick. See if there's I'll be back on you once I finish my portrait. Oh, this is Georgie saying I will be back once I finish my portrait classes. 3 projects. I'll make skull face with muscles. Not sure how to call it English, but an actual portrait of Paul Walker. Well, good luck. I hope it goes well, and please keep the Discord. You can check it. You can chuck it into Discord. Your work in progress images, and we can kind of keep up to date with what you're doing, and people can give their opinions and stuff like that as well. Yeah, good luck with that. And thank you very much, everybody, for staying this night. This has been a very long live stream. I should turn the music off right now. It's been a very long live stream. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday for anatomy class, the sculpting class, and we're working on the arm next. So, look forward to that. If you haven't seen the other ones, become a member, and you can be able to see all the other live streams of those ones as well. Thank you very much, and have a good night. See ya. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more exclusive content and want to support my work further, then please check out my Patreon page at MLW_creative for more. Also, view past live streams you might have missed in Tier 3 tutorial support, where I will be archiving future streams moving forward. If you are interested in other full-length tutorials, brushes, and models, then check out my online stores for more useful content. I would also like to thank all my subscribers and patrons for supporting me for this long. Again, thanks for watching and stay safe.